Growing up in the White House is a privilege and a predicament, with perks including world travel and confinements, including not being able to go anywhere without the Secret Service in tow. So, what it's like to be a kid in the White House. Few children in history have had the opportunity to call 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue home. Only 33 living people can say they've had the experience of being the son or daughter of a president. From Barron Trump to Tad Lincoln, let's meet the kids who grew up in the White House and their life in the White House. Chelsea Clinton. Chelsea Clinton moved into the White House at the age of 12 when her father, Bill Clinton, assumed the presidency in 1993. Her time in the White House was marked by some unique experiences and challenges. One of the most rebellious acts she engaged in during her White House years, according to her mother, was something that might seem quite ordinary for most teenagers, ordering pizza with her friends. However, pizza delivery to the White House was strictly prohibited due to security concerns, particularly with the presence of the Secret Service. After her family's tenure in the White House, Chelsea Clinton has continued to lead an active and impactful life. She is deeply involved in the nonprofit organization founded by her parents, the Clinton Foundation. The foundation is dedicated to addressing various critical issues, including healthcare, global climate change, and the betterment of the lives of girls and women. In addition to her philanthropic work, Chelsea has also ventured into the world of children's literature. She has authored several children's books, contributing her voice to educating and inspiring young readers. Reflecting on her time as a first child and living in the public eye, Chelsea has shared some insights into her unique upbringing. Despite the privileges and opportunities it afforded her, she also acknowledged the challenges, such as a lack of privacy. She recalled an incident when she and her best friend inadvertently got separated from the Secret Service for a brief moment while driving, causing her considerable worry and prompting her to apologize profusely for what she considered a lapse in responsibility. One common question she often encountered was whether she ever considered running away during her time in the White House. Chelsea's response was a resolute no. She emphasized her respect for the Secret Service's duties and her commitment to not making their job more challenging. Furthermore, she had no desire to cause unnecessary stress for her parents, Bill and Hillary Clinton. Her sense of responsibility and understanding of the unique circumstances of her upbringing were deeply ingrained in her. Stephen Ford and Susan Ford. Stephen Ford moved into the White House at the age of 18 when his father, Gerald Ford, assumed the presidency in 1974. His arrival at the presidential residence was marked by youthful exuberance. On his first night in the White House, Stephen and a childhood friend managed to sneak onto the roof of their new home, where they cranked up the volume and blasted rock music. This impromptu rooftop concert served as Stephen's unique introduction to his new life in the presidential home. Despite this spirited debut, Stephen Ford made a conscious decision to stay out of the spotlight during his time in the White House. He chose not to reside in Washington, D.C., preferring a different lifestyle. Instead, he spent only a few months at a time in the White House and opted for a quieter existence, indulging in his passion for rodeo out west. However, life after the White House took an unexpected turn for Stephen. Contrary to his initial desire to avoid the spotlight, he went on to become a well-known Hollywood actor, accumulating an impressive portfolio of over 30 movies and numerous television roles. Susan Ford, on the other hand, faced a sudden change in her senior year of high school when her father, Gerald Ford, unexpectedly became the 38th President of the United States in 1974. This transition occurred following Richard Nixon's resignation, which elevated Vice President Ford to the presidency. Unlike some presidential children who had to adapt to new schools and environments, Susan was fortunate to already reside in Washington, D.C., which meant she could continue attending her current school. Reflecting on her experience, Susan empathized with fellow first children who had to uproot their lives. She expressed sympathy for Amy Carter, who had to move to Washington, make new friends, and adjust to a new school environment, acknowledging the challenges faced by such children. One of the perks of being a first child is occasionally hosting major life events at the White House while your parent is president. Susan had the unique opportunity to host her senior prom at the White House, an event that stands out in her memory as a remarkable and rare occurrence. She recalls how it all came together with the help of the White House staff, making it a memorable experience for everyone involved. During her mother Betty Ford's hospitalization for breast cancer, Susan stepped into the role of White House hostess, taking on responsibilities typically handled by the First Lady. She recounts a special moment when she accompanied her father as his date to a White House diplomatic corps reception, wearing long white gloves and engaging with various ambassadors. Lucy Baines Johnson. Lucy Baines Johnson was only 16 years old on that fateful day of November 22, 1963. It was the afternoon when President John F. Kennedy was tragically shot and killed, thrusting her father, Vice President Lyndon Johnson, into the solemn role of taking over the Oval Office. She recalled that the world had watched as her father was catapulted into the presidency by an assassin's bullet, an event that had left a hole in the heart of every living, breathing person on the face of the earth. The impact had been devastating, not just for her family, but for countless others, both near and far. She went on to explain that President Kennedy hadn't been merely a political figure for her. He had been her president, her father's boss, and someone who had made her feel like a personal friend. His untimely death had shattered her on many levels, as it had marked her first personal encounter with the harsh reality of violent death. Lucy had grown up in a family deeply entrenched in the world of politics, but nothing could have prepared her for the unique experience of being a first child. She couldn't help but feel a profound sense of empathy for the Kennedy children, who had also been thrust into the national spotlight under tragic circumstances. During those challenging times, Lucy found solace in the kindness of First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy. She noted that the gesture had meant the world to her when Mrs. Kennedy had extended an invitation to her for a state dinner. Lucy had been left utterly dumbfounded by the honor, feeling like a wallflower who had been invited by the president of the student body to attend the prom. Tad Lincoln. President Abraham Lincoln and his wife, Mary Todd, were devoted parents to their 4 children, but the confines of the White House saw only 2 of their offspring, William and Thomas, grow up within its walls. Tragically, young William's life was cut short by illness, just a year after his father's inauguration as the 16th President of the United States. At the tender age of 11, William contracted a severe fever, and despite the best medical efforts available at the time, he passed away while residing in the White House. Meanwhile, the youngest Lincoln son, Thomas, affectionately known as Tad, had the opportunity to experience the White House, albeit under the shadow of grief that enveloped his family. Tad, who bore a unique and spirited personality, lived through the turbulent years of his father's presidency and the American Civil War. He brought youthful exuberance and laughter to the somber halls of the White House, often entertaining visiting dignitaries and guests with his antics. However, Tad's life, too, was marked by sorrow as he lost his beloved father to assassination in 1865, when he was just 18 years old. Sasha Obama. Sasha Obama, the younger daughter of Barack Obama, made her entrance into the White House at the tender age of 7 when her father assumed the presidency in 2009. Despite her young age, Sasha's life in the White House was far from ordinary. One memorable moment that she and her older sister, Malia, cherished was a private Jonas Brothers concert held at the White House on the night their dad was officially inaugurated as president. It was a unique and unforgettable experience for the 2 young girls. As their time in the White House came to a close, Sasha and Malia had one last memorable night to enjoy. The night before their departure, they hosted a slumber party with their friends. The festivities included a feast of chicken nuggets and pizza, creating a fun and light-hearted atmosphere amid the grandeur of the presidential residence. Following Barack Obama's presidency, the family decided to remain in Washington, D.C. to ensure that Sasha could complete her high school education without disruptions. She successfully graduated from high school in 2019, marking a significant milestone in her life. Today, Sasha is pursuing her higher education journey as a student at the University of Michigan, where she is likely to continue carving her own path, away from the spotlight of the White House. Charles Taft. Charles Taft, the son of President William Howard. Taft entered the White House at the age of 11 when his father assumed the presidency in 1909. During his time in the presidential residence, Charles earned a reputation as a bit of a troublemaker. One of his mischievous exploits included flying a model airplane from the roof of the White House, showcasing his adventurous spirit within the hallowed halls of the presidential residence. Additionally, he found amusement in occasionally fielding calls on the telephone switchboard, which was responsible for connecting phone calls within the White House during that era. Following his experiences in the White House, Charles Taft pursued a notable career in politics. He made his mark by becoming the mayor of Cincinnati, Ohio, a position in which he took immense pride. One of the highlights of his career was his instrumental role in the construction of the stadium that would go on to host Cincinnati's baseball and football teams. Charles's contributions to his community and city demonstrated his commitment to public service, and he continued to build on his family's legacy even after leaving the White House. Quentin Roosevelt. Quentin Roosevelt, the youngest child of President Theodore Roosevelt, had a unique and adventurous childhood in the White House. When he moved in at the tender age of 3, little did anyone know that he would become a part of the mischievous group of boys known as the White House Gang. These young troublemakers were known for their spirited games, which included constructing obstacle courses in the hallways and engaging in lively games of hide-and-seek. President Roosevelt himself coined the term White House Gang to affectionately describe this spirited bunch. However, Quentin's life took a significant turn after leaving the White House. As he grew older, he pursued his passion for aviation and enrolled in flight school. This decision ultimately led him to join the United States Army Air Service during World War I. Serving as a pilot, Quentin displayed remarkable courage and dedication to his country. Tragically, Quentin Roosevelt's life was cut short during his service in World War I when he was just 20 years old. His sacrifice and commitment to his nation remain a poignant part of his legacy, as he joined the ranks of countless young men who gave their lives during this tumultuous period in history. Michael Reagan. Michael Reagan's experience as a first child took a unique turn when his father, Ronald Reagan, assumed the presidency. At the age of 35, Michael was already a grown man and had grown accustomed to his parents' fame. His mother, Jane Wyman, was an Academy Award-winning actress, and his father had achieved renown both as an actor and later through his political career, which included serving as the governor of California. However, the transition to life as the child of a sitting U.S. president brought about significant changes for Michael. The introduction of Secret Service protection was among the most notable adjustments. While the Secret Service agents assigned to protect him were courteous, their presence was a constant in his life, as they were with him around the clock. This intrusion sometimes made Michael feel like an outsider within his own home. The presidency of a family member altered the dynamics of Michael's life in profound ways. Privacy, a cherished aspect of personal life, became a luxury that was essentially forfeited. Michael Reagan's experiences as the child of a U.S. president shed light on the unique challenges and changes that come with such a prominent position. He emphasized how many individuals sought to leverage his connection to his father for various deals and opportunities, a phenomenon that continues even today. To navigate this aspect of his life, both he and his father, Ronald Reagan, established a clear understanding. They had to exercise caution and discernment when approached with offers. Privacy, or the lack thereof, was a recurring theme in Michael's reflections. He noted that his father was acutely aware of the impact the presence of the Secret Service had on their lives. Ronald Reagan humorously acknowledged that his arrival at someone's home was akin to a 26-car motorcade, a spectacle that could easily draw the ire of neighbors due to the disruptions it caused. Perhaps the most striking aspect of the loss of privacy was revealed through an anecdote about Michael's daughter, Ashley. The family learned her Secret Service code name before they even knew her gender. As Ashley made her entrance into the world, the Secret Service announced, "We have an arrival. Raindrop has arrived." This unique introduction to the world left an indelible mark, as Ashley later chose to commemorate it with a tattoo of raindrops on her foot. Amy Lynn Carter. Amy Carter's childhood in the White House was marked by unique and imaginative experiences. One such experience was the treehouse that the White House carpenter crafted especially for her. This delightful addition to the White House grounds provided Amy with a private oasis where she could play and let her imagination run wild. After her time in the White House, Amy channeled her energy and passion into becoming an activist. Throughout the 1980s and early 1990s, she actively participated in various protests, advocating for causes she held dear. Amy's creative talents also shone through in her collaboration with her father, Jimmy Carter. She lent her artistic skills to illustrate a children's book authored by her father titled The Little Baby Snoogle Fleeger. Amy Carter's post-White House journey was marked by her commitment to social and political causes, as well as her artistic endeavors. Her unique upbringing in one of the world's most famous residences undoubtedly played a role in shaping her perspective and passions. Caroline Kennedy. Caroline Kennedy's early years in the White House were marked by a unique blend of education and play. Her mother, First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy, transformed a room in the White House into a personalized kindergarten classroom, ensuring that Caroline could receive her education while living in the presidential residence. It was a special arrangement that allowed Caroline to balance her studies with the demands of life in the White House. When she wasn't engaged in her studies, Caroline enjoyed another special privilege, riding her pony, Macaroni, around the White House grounds. These joyful rides often included her father, President John F. Kennedy, who would occasionally join her for these memorable outings. It was a time of family bonding and creating cherished memories. Tragically, Caroline's idyllic childhood in the White House was cut short by the assassination of her father in 1963. As she grew into adulthood, she dedicated herself to honoring his legacy. Caroline Kennedy became deeply involved in various initiatives and activities aimed at preserving and commemorating the memory of President Kennedy. Caroline's commitment to public service extended beyond her efforts to honor her father. She ventured into the world of politics and diplomacy, serving as the United States ambassador to Japan from 2013 to 2017. During her tenure, she lived in Japan and played a crucial role in representing American interests and strengthening the bonds between the two nations. Jenna and Barbara Bush. Jenna and Barbara Bush, the twin daughters of George W. Bush, had a unique perspective on life in the White House. By the time their father assumed the presidency, they were already pursuing their college education, with Jenna attending the University of Texas and Barbara studying at Yale University. This allowed them to maintain their independence and establish their own lives, which they viewed as a healthy balance between their personal and public responsibilities. One of the most significant advantages of their situation was the opportunity to witness and be a part of living history. Their parents, George W. and Laura Bush, generously included them in their travels across the world, exposing them to diverse cultures and allowing them to meet remarkable individuals. These experiences had a profound impact on shaping their perspectives and ambitions. Both Jenna and Barbara attribute their early exposure to different cultures and influential figures as instrumental in influencing their career choices and helping them discover their life purposes. Despite the many advantages of their unique upbringing, Jenna and Barbara also had to contend with the challenges of being in the public eye and witnessing criticism directed towards their father, whom they deeply admired. It was emotionally challenging to reconcile their personal view of him with the public's perception. However, they firmly believe that the positive aspects of their experiences far outweigh any negatives. For Jenna and Barbara Bush, the opportunity to live history, witness their father's presidency, and grow from their extraordinary life experiences has been an invaluable part of their journey, ultimately shaping the individuals they have become. Jesse Grant. Jesse Grant, the youngest son of President Ulysses S. Grant, had an exciting and adventurous time during his years in the White House. When he moved in at the age of 11, his family introduced a touch of uniqueness to their daily routine. Jesse and his older sister, Nellie, had the pleasure of traveling to school in a cart pulled by their two beloved pet ponies. These charming rides to school became an endearing part of their White House memories. Jesse fondly reminisced about the White House and its surrounding yard, which he regarded as the largest and best playground available during his childhood. Life took an exciting turn for Jesse and his family after his father's presidential term came to an end. They embarked on an extraordinary journey that took them around the world, spanning a remarkable 2.5 years. This global adventure undoubtedly provided Jesse with a wealth of experiences and perspectives that would shape his future. In an interesting twist, Jesse Grant himself decided to enter the realm of politics in 1908 when he ran for the presidency. While his campaign was met with enthusiasm, he faced a challenging political landscape and ultimately did not secure the highest office in the land. Barron Trump. Currently, Barron Trump holds the distinction of being the latest resident of the White House. Despite his father, President Donald Trump, having a total of 5 children, Barron is the one who truly embodies the role of the first kid. His time in the public eye has provided a unique perspective on the life of a presidential child. Barron Trump's presence is frequently noted as he accompanies his parents, Donald and Melania Trump, on various high-profile trips and events. With each public appearance, Barron's fashion choices often set trends, leading to the swift selling out of the T-shirts he is seen wearing in stores. It seems that his young yet discerning fashion sense has made him a style icon for many. Moreover, Barron Trump understands the importance of dressing the part on certain occasions. Notably, he made a poised and stylish appearance during his father's inauguration, where all eyes were on him as a central figure in the ceremony. Another tradition that Barron participates in is the annual turkey pardon, where he dons a suit and shares in the light-hearted festivities with his family. The stories of these remarkable children who grew up in the White House are a captivating glimpse into the lives of those who have called 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue home. Each one faced their own set of unique challenges and opportunities, and their experiences continue to shape our understanding of the presidency and its impact on families. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Which of these presidential children's stories resonated with you the most? Do you have any insights about their lives in the White House? Share your thoughts in the comments section below to let us know. And if you enjoyed learning about these first children, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more fascinating content. Until next time, bye.